All right. First of all, I'm the founder and CEO of Medical Design Solutions. We are we not getting through there? We have, we do contract product development, and we also want to put a product on the market that was developed too soon, launched into too many markets, and failed dramatically several years back. And now the time is right, and we think for a number of various reasons. First of all, products have to be patient empowering, and patients don't want anything that infringes on their life, and they don't want to have to learn some new technology in order to use it. It has to be easy, and it has to be easy, and it has to be easy. If you don't learn those three things, it's not going to work. If it doesn't make or save money, don't even think about putting it on the market. So, we're developing proprietary technologies for making it easy for a person to stay at home when their health is getting fragile, when they're older, to help people in care facilities maintain what's happening with patients without highly trained individuals going to each room in a timely fashion, and also to enable hospitals to monitor patients post-surgery in that first 30 days, where if they're readmitted or anything related to the surgery, now the hospital has to pay for it under the new rules. So the time is now right. So mHealth, as defined by TripleTree, is any healthcare application or service that enables a seamless flow of information across cellular, wireless, and other mobile networks and mobile devices that improve clinical care delivery, patient-provider communications, and decision support. The rest of the world is well ahead of the U.S. in getting into this concept. I just came back from the MPNM, and we had people from Italy, people from the UK, all walk up and ask if they could order our product right now. Unfortunately, it's not quite productized, so we'll get into it. So perceptions, 46% think that this will improve convenience, that 52% believe it will reduce costs, 48% that it will improve the quality of care, 48% will change the way they manage chronic conditions, and 48% will change the way they communicate with physicians. 59% replace some visits to doctors and nurses. And it turns out the U.S. Veterans Administration has proven that it actually reduces the cost of care by 30% simply by putting people on a smart scale first thing in the morning and sending their weight to a care provider to analyze. It reduces the cost of congestive heart failure management, but it also reduces the number of cardiologists that are required to manage those patients. The future, by 2018, the worldwide market for mobile health technology will be greater than $11.8 billion, and it can only go up. We simply don't have enough doctors. We can't afford to have people go in just to have things checked that are not really significant. So I'm going to skip ahead a bit and show you what our product is. It's a garment that you just put on and it works. When I say you just put it on, it works. When you put it on, it senses via electrodes that are across the chest that it's actually in contact with the patient, begins to monitor their heart rate or arrhythmias. It cannot predict a heart attack, but it can predict and monitor arrhythmias and report that to the physician. In addition, it can monitor their respiration. And with 4 sensors, it can actually monitor their ventilation. So it can be used to detect apneas. It can be used to detect difficulties in breathing. It can be used to monitor those continually. In addition, it measures the patient's activity and body position. So if grandmother is wearing one of these that looks like the Genie bra, which I'm sure you've all seen advertised on TV, the one that Granny would be wearing, it looks like the Genie bra. If she's laying in the same position and hasn't moved for the last 4 hours, it notifies her smartphone, and you get a call that says you might want to check on Granny. Great monitor for letting her stay at home. It also monitors the skin temperature and keep records of that information and transfer it if it's necessary. But the real cue is that this material is sent to a center and evaluated with smart software that can predict 6.6 hours ahead of time that an untoward event is going to happen with a patient, just by monitoring those 4 parameters. And that's been proven clinically. So, where are we at this point? We have engineering prototypes, we have feasibility studies done, we have a supply chain that's lined up, and now the product was sitting idle because the previous owner of the concept tried to launch this thing back in, oh goodness, the 15 years prior to 2009. Went after at least 10 different markets and spent $65 million before going bankrupt. Now that Obamacare has come through, and now that the concept of having to reduce the cost is there, And now that we have invented a new technology that makes it, as I said, you just put it on and it works. A garment that can be washed 50 times before it has to be discarded. A cost of only replacing some disposable electrodes inside once a week and keeping it charged. We can have this product on the market at an average selling price of $200 for the system, $100 for each shirt that's replaced once a year. We actually got a request to deliver 800 units by the end of this year and then 10,000 units next year by the government of Italy at MD&M last week. And all I need is the development money to finish rolling out from prototype into a full product, not as a medical device, but as a health monitoring device for the first launch. And then we would go ahead and roll it into a medical device so that it could be used to monitor patients discharged from a hospital in the U.S. as other sites. So, once again, a recap. It's capable of monitoring the patient's ECG R wave, the respiratory activity, the abdominal girth, which is an important factor for a number of types of diseases that are not currently easily diagnosed. Activity, position, and skin temperature, and relaying that information to a data center via a smartphone. And it's designed with wireless interfaces that will let it also do oximetry and a wrist-type blood pressure measure. Capable of bidirectional communication between the wearable component and the data center. There's more details here. I can go over it as a fire hose, but I'm just going to put it on. If I go back up with the picture, if I went back up, there's a picture of me wearing it. And I've actually set in the garment with a large pot. So I'm not going to put it on, but there's a picture of me wearing it and sleeping in it and gathering data overnight. The device concept, engineering prototypes, fully with the software for gathering the data and transmitting it, either via GSM, via Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth, have all been developed in the industry. I'll take questions at this point. What am I looking for? For $500,000, I can put this product on the market and deliver it in next year. Okay? 10,000 units, and that would be, yes?
How many reads on ECG? 3?
It's a 3-lead ECG. Yes, it is a 3-lead ECG.
So, my question to you is, if you have a pre-standing order, this is common in healthcare, why don't you go out and just have them pay 100% advance?